I can't believe that it actually happened. And I really feel like the movie itself, Zack Snyder's Justice League, did not think it was going to be possible for it to live up to the hype of 3 years of people trying to get it made, and then 1 year of it actually getting made, and people hyping it up that whole time. And then the movie comes out, and I feel like it nailed it.
People talk about it. So you liked it.
I loved it.
You loved it.
I can't even say that I liked it. I loved it. Because it did live up to the hype.
1000%.
I honestly, I'm gonna be completely honest. And maybe the reason why I enjoyed it more is because I actually did not have a high expectation for it. And I know that can ruin people sometimes, where they're like, this movie is for sure gonna be amazing without a doubt. Guaranteed.
That was me. I was making bets. I was making bets with people. I was like, yo, it's gonna be amazing.
I did not feel that way though. I didn't because of Man of Steel and because of BVS, I was really hesitant. And I
Really? That's
really like Man of Steel, but there are parts in that movie where I'm like, oh man. Same thing for BVS, where I'm like, I love that movie, and then there's a Martha. You're like, oh man.
Yeah.
So I was waiting for the oh man moment in Justice League, and I gotta be honest, I nothing in that movie made me cringe.
What was it? The credits when they started rolling? Was that when you're like, oh man?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
That was my oh man moment.
Yes, when the credits started rolling, and I was like, but is it gone forever? Yes.
Yes.
It is gone
We'll
forever.
get into that, but yes, it is gone forever.
And that was my oh man moment.
What was your initial thought when it was over? Did you have any thought when it was ended? When it ended, did you think like, oh my God, I need another one. I can't believe that's the end. Like I want to watch it immediately again already.
So we can get into the. So I don't know if I don't really want to do a play-by-play of like the whole movie in 4.5 hours. If you saw it, cool.
Yeah.
You'll know what we're talking about. Just kind of want to get into the things that I thought really stood out to me personally that I thought was significant. So if we're going to talk about the end, I actually thought the last 5 minutes of the movie was the weakest of the whole movie. Or,
Okay.
well, maybe not the last 5 minutes, but the last
Epilogue?
scene. The last scene, yeah. Well, no, because the epilogue, Father Twice Over, I think is
Important.
is like a really good. But there's like 4 endings to this movie, right? And so the last ending, where Martian Manhunter is officially brought in, and we got a glimpse of him earlier into the movie, but he's like, "Hey, I'm Martian Man.
Around.
Hey, Batman, I'm Martian Manhunter."
Yeah, and it should have asked, "Where have you been this whole time?"
Yeah,
we could have
What are
used
you
you a
doing?
few times. Thanks for showing up
so
now.
like I think probably could have done without that.
Really?
Scene. Yeah, and I think that.
So you think it should have ended with the nightmare? Like he just woke up and he's like, "Shit," and then it just ended.
Yeah, if Ben Affleck woke up from the nightmare and was like, "Oh, and then they cut it, that would have been awesome.
I guess that would have been cooler.
Because I don't understand, like nothing can come of this movie. So Zack Snyder was like, "Well, we got to film a little bit of Martian Manhunter to give the fans something."
So you just think he did it at the wrong part of the movie? Like he could have done it somewhere else?
No, I think that the purpose of it was to give a little bit extra, because Martian Manhunter obviously was the stuff. So Martian Manhunter and Joker Nightmare scene was the extra stuff.
Yeah.
Right. That was the extra 5 minutes that he filmed for the movie.
Which apparently he did like in his garage.
I believe it's
Like
all green screen.
He's
right?
like, yeah. Apparently he just did it like it wasn't a big production. He just had to get it done.
He was like, "Hey Ben, come over."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Jared Leto and Ben Affleck were not together when they did that.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you knew that.
I believe it.
It was cut together, but they never met up to do that scene.
I believe it.
Because he like did it in his yard or something ridiculous.
And I love the Joker stuff too, but again, it doesn't. It's setting something up that's never gonna happen. So I'm like, what? All right, you go.
Well, of course, it was set up with the intention of something else going to happen. Not the Joker stuff, but like the whole nightmare thing.
Right, nightmare.
And I think people are mad. They're like, "Well, why'd you do that to us?" Because that's just what his vision was at the time. He was planning on doing more. He was gonna do more, and I think he threw everything that he was gonna do. He's like, "Well, just why not put it all there?
Just give it to everybody. Yeah.
I'm not coming back for this.
Right.
So what's the point of leaving just something out?"
I agree with that.
Like he's like, you know what? We have all this footage. Put it all in.
I think
this is what they were asking for. This is what they wanted.
Yeah.
This is my last time doing this. All of it.
And I'm not saying that I didn't like it.
It just didn't fit.
I just think that it was the weakest part of the movie because it didn't.
Yeah.
Didn't tie in directly to the story, to the whole story. Right?
It tied into something we're never going to see.
He tagged it on as extra, and it did feel as a tagged on extra.
So if we knew there was a second one coming, would it have you've been better? Felt better?
Yeah, if I knew that the next movie was called Injustice, I would have been like,
which is a whole other topic.
I would have been like, "Oh my god, this is amazing. He's going to make Injustice?" Yes, please.
Why is nobody talking about? I know cuz it's not happening, but nobody's even brought up Injustice.
Yeah. Like the fact that it is Injustice?
Yes, it's what? Nobody's brought it up at all. Every message board and video and everything I've watched, nobody's been like, "Guys, you remember Injustice? Yeah. When the world was shit and Superman wanted to kill everybody?"
Yeah, Superman was a bad guy because Lois Lane dies?
Nobody brought it up.
That's interesting. I honestly haven't gotten on the internet and looked.
It infuriates. And I'm like, how? That's the first thing I connected.
Right.
When Superman came down, he's like, "Oh, you found us." I was like, "Oh, Lois?
Well,
what? Oh my god, this is my favorite story."
The first time he visits the nightmare scene, we see Superman like holding like these charred remains, right? And I guess if you don't know the Injustice storyline, you don't actually.
I didn't know what it was right away either.
Yeah, you don't. It didn't click that it was Lois Lane.
I didn't do it. I couldn't hang on to the scene fast enough.
Oh, okay.
I just thought he was there by himself.
Yeah, it was like he's like holding these like charred bones and because he kills Lois Lane, right? Yeah. That's the storyline.
Yeah, and in Injustice, it was the Joker that killed Lois Lane.
But wasn't it still Superman that kills her? Like the Joker makes the Joker tricks Superman into killing Lois and that drives Superman insane.
Yes.
And
she was also pregnant at the time in Injustice.
Yeah, yes.
And we get the hint that she's pregnant
exactly.
in this one. So I'm like, nobody.
Oh my gosh.
Grace Randolph, come on, girl. Get it together.
She says Injustice.
Does she really?
She does, yes.
I've not paid a whole lot of attention.
So after I saw the movie, I watched 2 videos. I watched Grace Randolph's video review. She did 3 of them. I just watched one of them. I watched the first one. And then I saw Kevin Smith and Mark Bernardin's review of it also. But but I watch it. That's a 3-hour long deal. So I watched theirs, and Grace Randolph does say in that thing like, "Oh, there's a little bit of injustice here," but she's more of like, which I think is a video game, and so we're like, okay,
that was my favorite.
She's not like a big. I don't think she's saying she's a big fan of Injustice, but
I'm huge. And I told you, remember when I told you, I was like, did nobody play this game before they made the movies?
I know.
Nobody played the game storyline. And it's like, yo, we should turn this into a movie.
Yeah.
Nobody said that?
Well, I think Zack Snyder said it. And then Warner Brothers was like,
they're like, no, we
don't want that.
Happy things.
Which Injustice, I think, is WB Games, isn't it?
I'm sick of Warner Brothers.
I know.
Sick of Warner Brothers.
DC needs to go to another company, man. So,
did you have a favorite chat? Did you have something that you're still clinging on to? That you saw and you're like, oh, I see that again.
You know what? All of the Flash stuff is sticking with me. All of his stuff is just...
Even the hot dog?
Yeah. Well...
Did you know why he grabbed it?
No, but
right away?
That's okay because it's like a weird thing that he's doing, right? Because he's a weird character. And so I'm okay.
Oh, I'm okay with it too.
I'm okay with him grabbing. So he's looking at Iris, which we also don't know that's Iris, but it's it's Iris, right? And he's looking at Iris and then he's like, "Oh, a hot dog," which I thought it was so he could eat it. Like,
I didn't know.
He's like, I'm starving because he runs all the time, right? And he's like, that's what I thought. But then he goes back and feeds it to the dogs.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, that's smart. Okay. That's funny.
But all the Flash stuff, you're like,
yeah, the part, something else that Grace Randolph said that, I don't know. I haven't looked into anything myself, but she was saying that the part where the Flash saves all the people out of the tunnel under Gotham.
He's hitting the
rocks, right?
Oh, what?
She said that's.
Oh my God.
She said that scene was 100% done when Joss Whedon got it. When he got the project and came on, that they were like, "Hey, nothing is done on this movie except this scene with the Flash," and he was like, "Nah, I don't want it."
It was so.
What do you mean?
And it happened so fast.
I know.
But it was like dragged. Like the scene was so fast that you could see everything happening.
Yes.
You could see him saving everybody.
Like, you just above.
And then you're gone. And then you're like, what happened?
Oh,
and then
loved it.
Debris everywhere. And I'm like, yo.
I loved it. And then of course so the Justice League, I would say all of them fail. Right? They actually
lose.
They actually lose. I didn't. Which I loved.
And I started to when Barry didn't come back to have contact with him.
Right.
I was like, they're not going to do this.
I was like,
there's
way.
no shot.
Yeah.
And then the parademon shoots him down. He falls. I was like, they can't now.
Yeah, I was like,
but then I was like, oh, they're gonna.
On.
I was like, they have to win, and then they lose.
They lose
the whole thing, and the world is destroyed.
Yeah, and it's all up to Barry.
And he knew right away.
Yeah, he was like, I can fix this. I have to just break my rule. And he takes off and reverses time. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the stuff that actually has been sticking with me is the Flash.
And I've always wanted to see him go back in time because it's a huge part of his character.
Yeah.
Because again, he does it at good moments, and obviously, as we'll maybe see in the future, he does it at the wrong times. But this is the one time he did it at the right time. He did it at the right time, and he knew he could do it. But to see him run between the past and the future at the same time, and
the past is just like,
and the past is
rebuilding
itself.
Yeah, it's rebuilding.
And the future is going backwards.
So good.
And I liked it because it was long enough for me. I didn't want him to just do it and then it's over. He ran really fast. Yeah. Cool. He ran really fast in slow motion, I guess. So we got to see what he was doing. It was done so perfectly.
What do you think about Flash's run being slow motion? Which is it's a funny thing to think about.
It is funny, but I feel like everything around him was going faster than he was.
Yeah,
so like when the buildings were being rebuilt, that was going faster than him.
Right. But every time we get a close up of Flash running, he's in slow motion, right? And obviously he's still running faster than everything else, but he's always like moving in slow motion.
Yeah, but like when he was saving the people, that was
that was
slow.
That was from the perspective of the people, right?
But now you can see how fast he can run.
Right. The other thing that is actually that I noticed right away that I do wonder if people are upset about is that Superman is not in the movie.
No, for like an hour.
Yeah, an hour tops. I don't even know if it's that. If you like clocked it in, it might be like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And
but I mean,
and especially him in the black suit, right?
Yeah.
He's like hardly in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm okay with that, actually.
I didn't expect anything different. I didn't expect like a flashback scene.
I thought half the movie. I thought half the movie we were going to see him.
Yeah?
Yeah. I really did. Even if we saw him as Clark Kent for an hour and then Superman for an hour, I didn't know that Zack Snyder was like, nah, I'm going to give you 45 minutes. And that's it.
Again, I think that's like all it ever was. 'Cause nothing was changed.
Right.
A whole lot that I'm aware of.
Mm-mm.
As far as my understanding of what I did, this was sitting on a computer for 3 years.
Yeah.
And it was just there.
But the previous Justice League opens with Superman.
Yeah.
Him in that
But even still,
burning building.
everything that I hated about Justice League was gone in this movie.
I know.
Everything I hated. Every
I agree.
conversation, every comment, every cringy thing was gone.
I agree. I
was
absolutely all the
gone.
like the dialogue that was said that
The
I was just like, what is
mustacheness.
happening? Yes, again,
Everything.
but that was another movie that was
And-
made where I was like,
and
oh
I was-
man, why?
For which one?
Justice League, the
Yeah.
original 2017 Justice League was
Yeah.
another movie, another DC Zack Snyder movie that I was like, oh man.
But it wasn't Zack
But
Snyder.
I know.
I was sipping my beverage.
Before we knew,
but now we know how much
Right,
was ruined.
and it makes me think that Warner Brothers ruined the other ones too.
They did ruin They've at the whole center of this, and I know they are.
Yeah,
I firmly believe on the record that Warner Brothers wanted all this to fail.
Yeah.
It's gone, it's done, and they won.
I
don't know if I want to start doing this now. This is still early in the show. There's no restore the Snyderverse.
Right.
It's
right.
not coming back.
No, yeah,
this
said
is
no.
this is the end.
Yeah.
And the lady today, God, I forgot her name, and I was trying to memorize
Yeah,
it so I could
I
say it
know,
now.
but
she's like, his trilogy is done.
Yeah.
We're moving on.
Yep. She's like, I hope you guys are excited for the next one.
And I read there's a whole interview
Yeah.
on this, and I don't
Yeah.
know if you read. I read it all today.
I didn't read the whole interview.
I read it all.
What people reported
It's
on.
done. It's over.
Yeah. I got. Yeah,
So no
I read
matter
that
what you
snippet.
do or fight, and believe me, I would love to. I would
Yeah,
love to
yeah.
continue this. I think finally they have all the pieces together.
Right.
I really believe that with the cast. And no, Zack Snyder doesn't have to direct every movie. He really doesn't. He
No,
shouldn't.
yeah, I
He
agree.
shouldn't.
Right. I agree.
They have all the pieces together, and for whatever reason, something happened, and they're
Mhm.
like, no,
Well,
we're good.
and in
This movie's gonna make $10 billion. Don't care.
the original plan wasn't even to have him direct all the movies,
Nope.
right? Because we had Matt Reeves coming on for the Batman.
Mhm.
We had another director for Flashpoint.
Mhm.
We had a Cyborg movie.
All that.
Well,
goes
Aquaman
scrapped.
came out shortly after.
James Wan.
James Wan
could have been
crushed
good to do all
it.
three. Patty Jenkins was doing a good job until recently.
Yeah. Talk about that's a what 2-hour movie that feels like
that
4
feels like
hours.
4 hours.
And this is a 4-hour movie that feels like 2. So the
It's
story of how this whole thing came to be is almost bigger than the movie itself.
Yeah, it is. And when it was over, I was like, I want to see more. But
Yeah.
in the moment when I was sitting in here and it was dark and the credits were rolling,
Mhm.
I was like, it's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's over. And I thought, and I needed
Yeah.
to find something to be okay. And this was what it was. The movie was so good. I'm like, if you're gonna go out,
Oh,
go
yeah.
out on top.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Zack Snyder and the whole gang, they went out on top. In my opinion,
Oh my gosh.
they crushed it. They did so good.
Yeah.
And if that's how his story ends, I don't know that there's another way you could have had
Right.
it end.
I completely agree with you in that like Zack Snyder got the final say and dropped the mic, walked away. Warner Brothers can't say anything about it because the audience loves it. Even
Nope.
critically, it's doing well.
Mhm.
So they can't say that the choices they made in the past were correct.
Nope.
Because now Zack Snyder has proved to them people will watch long movies, they will enjoy it,
Mhm.
and you should have just let me do what I needed
And
to
here's
do.
why I think it was good. And I don't know this for sure. I think they said, do whatever you want. We don't care. Just get it done. We won't bother you. We won't tell you this. We won't tell you that. We won't nitpick at you. Do whatever you want. And he did exactly what he wanted with no interference. And that's why it was so good. I think with Man of Steel and Batman, I think
They
they were like, no,
interfered.
don't do, you can't do, no, do, put that in. So I think that was happening.
Yeah.
And for this, they're like, we don't care.
So
Here's your money. Don't come to us. Don't ask us any questions.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want.
I'm
And
gonna
it was so good.
tell you what I heard. Again, I don't know if it's official or not, but the only reason that this movie got made is because AT&T bought Warner Brothers,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
And AT&T funded the movie,
Mhm.
not Warner Brothers the production company.
Yes, and that's my understanding of it as well.
So this movie does not happen unless AT&T comes along and says, we want you to do it. And don't even listen to those guys over there. They're not in charge.
They went to the top. They went to the penthouse on top of the penthouse.
Yep.
And I think that's why it was so good, because there was no interference.
Yeah, and they were like, don't even worry about it.
They're like, yeah, but
Ignore them.
I'm gonna do cool, do that. Yeah, but it's gonna be 4 hours too. Cool,
awesome.
Do it a little over. Do 4 hours 2 minutes. Yeah, okay, yeah, cool.
Go,
They're like the fun boss.
Yeah,
You just ask them, can I just take the whole afternoon off?
Absolutely.
I didn't see you here today.
Yeah.
And
did you finish your work?
Yeah, it's done. Oh, cool. See you on Monday.
Then you're good. Then you're good.
Imagine if Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman were never tampered with, and like, oh, you can't do this, can't do that, no, you can't do all that.
Well, it's undeniable. I mean, I guess it's my opinion, but it's a very popular opinion that Batman v Superman Ultimate Edition is a lot better than the theatrical cut.
Yeah.
Right? 3-hour-long movie, but it trumps the theatrical cut.
In every way
in
possible.
So many ways, because it brings context to a lot of scenes that we saw in the theatrical cut that we were like, wait, what? That was a weird cut.
They just go over it.
And yeah. Like, all right. You just like blow over it and you're like, well, that was weird.
Yeah.
And then the 3-hour-long movie, you're like, oh, now the motivation feels correct.
Yeah.
But they always have to come along and do something dumb and tell people no. And
again, want to go on the record, I have zero faith in Warner Brothers going forward. I really do. I'm just so like, and I yes, I'm gonna watch The Flash, and I'm gonna watch the movies. Know. That's the problem.
Me too. That's
the problem. But I think what they're doing, I think it's just so weird, and I think I don't know. I just think, and I gave you a whole Matt Reeves rant, like a year ago, on like my whole conspiracy theory with that, and I don't know if I still believe that. Am I gonna watch Matt Reeves' movie? Yeah,
of course.
I'm gonna watch it. Does it bother me that it happened? Yeah, it bothers me. Do I need to just take a break? Yeah, I do. Like this is a good way to go out.
So you're going to watch the Batman, and you're going to watch the Flash movie.
Yeah, again, and both of those are a year or more away.
Right.
So in a year from now, I'm going to calm down.
But then you're done? Or
no, I'm just like if it were to come out tomorrow, honestly, I don't know if I'd be able to watch it.
Oh, yeah?
If Matt Reeves' Batman came out tomorrow, I would not be at I don't think I would be at the theater to watch it.
Yeah? You're just not stoked?
But in a year, I'll have calmed down.
Like, okay, all right.
It'll have passed.
Fine.
Everybody will have calmed down. Restore the Snyder.
Because we're not getting any DC content.
No, nothing's coming for a while.
Yeah.
So in a year's time, in 12 months.
Right.
Well, it's November of 2022 now.
Yeah.
It's forever, and it's done. It's wrapped already.
Yeah. They just
so it's forever.
They just need a good slot.
Correct.
Yeah.
Ooh. So it's forever from now.
Yeah.
So when the time comes, I'll be ready again.
All right.
I'll be ready again. And I'm mad, and I'm mad in the way where it's like you can't stay mad. Yeah. You're just mad because of what happened. You're mad because of current events. And I am mad. And I was mad reading that interview with God, I wish I could remember her name. But just everything she said, I'm like, you just don't care. You're dodging questions.
Yeah.
You're giving vague answers. And that was the tipping point for me. And I came in and I was like, I just want to talk about the movie. The Warner Brothers stuff, it doesn't matter. The movie was great. Let's talk about the movie. And then after I read this interview, I'm like, I hate this lady.
Yeah, who's just
and I was like,
no.
I have zero faith in what you're gonna do. I really do. But again, I'm gonna go to sleep tonight. I'm gonna calm down. I'm gonna watch other shows and like relax my mind. And then I'll be like, Diego, you were acting crazy. And I'm gonna have to tell myself that
you were acting crazy.
I'm gonna be like, Diego, come on.
I understand.
You got posters hanging on your wall. You really think you're gonna stop watching superhero movies?
Well, yeah, of course not.
Like you're
not. Of course not. I was saying the last time we talked, though, I'm really happy with the way HBO is going, which I think is a lot of AT&T influence, more
Mm-hmm.
so than Warner Brothers influence. And I understand AT&T owns, so it's one company, but there is some separation there. But I am excited for what they're doing. I know filmmakers are pissed off, but the change that's coming can be exciting.
It will be.
Yeah,
It
and
will be.
because we're getting a lot of good content, right? Like I'm still gonna have HBO. I'm still gonna watch Godzilla versus Kong. I'm gonna watch Mortal Kombat. I'm gonna watch Dune when that comes out at the end of the year, right? Space Jam 2 is coming out.
I'm
Come
terrified.
on. So
there is good stuff.
There's good
and
stuff.
I am excited, and I just have to get over this. And I'm not even a big advocate for restore the Snyderverse. I'm really not.
Yeah.
I was a big advocate for release the Snyder Cut. I was all over that 100%.
Yeah, but because it was there.
Yeah, because
right?
I'm like,
because it was sitting on a hard drive.
Yeah,
in his house, and just
like it was collecting dust on a shelf.
Yeah.
And after a couple of weeks, a couple of days from now, maybe even a little longer, I'm gonna be like, all right, it's time to move on. It's time to let go of this whatever it is that you think you're. And I'll have this conversation with myself in the mirror. I was like, whatever it is you think you're hanging on to,
get it together
with this anger. Let it go.
Yeah,
just be excited. But if we get to Flashpoint or even Batman and they suck or neither of them are good, I'm like, how much longer do we have to put up with this? Yeah, because really we could get to Matt Reeves' Batman and it could be
it could be terrible.
It could be awesome.
It could be awesome,
and we could be like, okay, cool.
Yeah,
I got that little bit of faith. Or it could suck.
Yeah,
and be like, so every DC movie I watch going forward is gonna suck.
Or not be that good.
Or not be that. Like, at what point do we just be like, I'm not watching it anymore?
Yeah, I agree. Because
we've done with the Purge movies. There's I'm just not it was cool, and I'm just not gonna watch any. Like, they're all stupid.
Yeah, so you lost faith in the franchise.
So
and
why am I gonna continue to watch it? The first one was cool. Second one,
like
cool.
the Saw movies.
Stupid. Yeah, like Saw.
Yeah,
Sharknado.
Yeah.
How much more am I gonna waste my money doing this?
Right.
And again, in a year they could both be really good. You got a good director for Flash. You got a good cast. Looks like you got a lot of good stuff going. But if it's a 2.5 hour movie or whatever, and it sucks.
Like, are you gonna return for Aquaman 2 and Wonder Woman 3? Yeah, I don't know.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder's Justice League. Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Let's bring it back to the movie, because I do have questions for you
regarding
the movie.
Shoot.
So I want to know, similar to what you asked me, I want to know what in this movie was either your favorite part or the thing that when you were going to bed last night and closed your eyes kept replaying in your head over and over.
I don't want to say it because everybody said it, but the cyborg stuff.
Oh, yeah.
The cyborg stuff, when he went through his journey of self-discovery or whatever, the guy's got some power.
Oh, yeah.
He's got some power. And again, we've always known it. Like, Cyborg's always been able to do this stuff. But it was just now that it was explored and explained to people. And I'm like, the guy, he's just unbelievable. And he hasn't even scratched the surface because
he's learning.
He's going through this right now.
Yeah.
So for, his dad to kind of be explaining, like, you kind of control the world more than Superman does. Like, Superman is, unkillable or whatever, but, like, you can actually do things with your mind. Like, you can.
He has, like, everyday influence on people.
Yeah.
Every day, everywhere.
Life.
Yeah.
Anytime you feel the need. He's like, you can change your own. And he, like, goes through the whole explanation. And I'm like, I forgot Cyborg can do all this stuff.
So when people say that Cyborg is the heart and soul of this movie, do you agree with them? That he is like without sight, like the movie is cool. It's an action-packed film, but Cyborg gives you the feels.
Cyborg hit me in some spots.
Yeah.
Cyborg made me look away from the screen sometimes.
And you're just like,
damn it, he's right. I was like, because the whole time, I don't know, I felt it.
Yeah,
I felt good.
I know.
Is he the heart and soul? Yeah.
Because
everybody, this movie doesn't work without any. If one of these characters is missing, it doesn't work.
I think that when people are saying that the Cyborg gives it like a humanity.
Yeah,
like a very human.
I understood. When again, I'm not a cyborg.
Sure,
but like
sure.
I understood like the pain he felt. He's like, I just want to be normal. I was like, I don't want to go through. I was like, I shouldn't have to do this.
Well, and his dad brings him back. He's like,
yeah, he's like,
why?
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
But then towards the end, he's like, I'm good. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
I get to decide what life I want to live. Nobody gets to decide it for me. And I was like, dude. I was like, yeah, that's us. Like every day we get to decide. Yeah. So by the end, he got it, and I was like, it's like big stone victory. I was like, victory once again, and that's what I felt. I was like, yo, I felt like his story was something we all could relate to.
It's such a
I was like,
shame that
so have to decide.
It's such a shame that was cut out. Man. Such a shame.
Everything, man.
It was so good. It was
all the dialogue, all the dumb dialogue.
The father-son relationship there was such a good.
When they walk into Star Labs, all of them at the end.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yo, his dad's gonna be like, oh, we got like intruders, and he's like, no.
I know. He goes, never. Or no. He says it is a real alarm.
Yeah. He's like, yeah.
It is a real alarm.
Keep everybody out of the building.
Make sure nobody enters this building.
And then it was like that little smile, and he's like, all right.
Yeah,
like,
and he just kind of like.
Yeah. And it was like, it was just, yeah, I felt it with him for sure. God, and that stuff with me, like when he's listening to the epilogue at the end, when he's his Silas is explaining everything, it's just like all relevant.
Oh yeah.
Like anybody could have taken what his dad was saying and applied it to their own life. God, so if you don't think superhero movies have any prevalence, and that's what people do, like, yo, it's a movie, it's not real.
You're like, no,
it is.
It's just using these characters as a vessel to explain our everyday life.
Exactly. So when you sit down and you and not every superhero movie, calm down.
Come on, guys.
When you sit down and you like listen to these stories and like what these people are saying, you're like, oh, I've felt that way before. I think I'm broken sometimes. Yeah. I'm not, because I'm a person and I make mistakes.
Right.
Like, oh, cool. I relate with that android man on the movies.
Sometimes I feel like a monster.
Yeah. So come on. I loved it all. I loved Wonder Woman at the beginning. That whole sequence was so much better.
Yeah, because she was kicking ass.
She killed people.
She kills people. They all kill people.
And part of me is like, so?
Yeah.
Who cares?
It's like a very quick. It's like a funny thing that you have to accept, but it happens so quickly. It's like superheroes don't kill people. I guess they do in this movie. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you move
accept
on.
It.
Yeah. And then
you just accept
go with it.
I loved the Wonder Woman stuff. I loved the Flash. The Flash's humor was so much better.
Oh,
because it wasn't forced.
I know. Didn't it just feel?
It was so normal. It was just him being normal. It
felt like him.
Yeah, bro. I think she goes for younger guys.
She's 5,000
that whole
years
thing,
old.
it wasn't like they didn't like, yo, put a joke in that scene. They were just sitting there having a conversation, and it just happened normal.
I don't believe for 1 second that Zack Snyder wrote that joke in, or Ezra Miller's jokes in.
Yeah, and just put him in.
It was like Ezra Miller, just go ahead, say funny things. Like when he's doing the hat thing with Aquaman.
Yeah, he's like option 1.
Or
option 2.
Yeah.
That's in 1 again. Yeah.
Like I think that scene was improv.
Because they were just they were just sitting there waiting. Like it wasn't. They didn't need to like put a joke in there. It just happened to have a joke. And I thought it was funny when they were igniting the box after Victor has his nightmare scene.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, no. He's like, go?
Oh, yeah.
And he goes. I was like, no, don't go. Because then I got nervous because I didn't know what was going to happen. I was like, it's a whole different movie. I didn't know what was going to happen when go? Okay. And then he goes.
You're
and
like,
I'm like,
what?
Oh, and then it's like, the future has now been set. And I'm like, oh, shit. Like, what?
It is hard to talk about Zack Snyder's Justice League and not reference Josstice League.
Oh,
because you're watching this and you're like, they got rid of this? They got rid of this? Even if you release this in 2 parts at 2 hours each, you could have done a Harry Potter thing where you released them like 6 months apart.
Yeah.
And you could have just done it that way. Why would you cut this out?
It was so bad.
So it is hard, but
so bad.
In trying to keep it into the movie itself, I also want to know what your least favorite part of the movie was. what part of this movie could you were you like, you know what? If that wasn't in the movie, I think I would have been okay. I have two, and one of them is all over the internet right now that I was looking at.
See, and I think it's the same scene, which I liked. I probably thought they could have done it a little bit differently.
Okay.
But I don't know if that's the scene.
Which one?
The Barry Allen scene with Iris?
No.
That sequence?
You wish that was done better?
I wish they just could have done it differently.
Like without the dogs?
No, the dogs.
You didn't like the resume joke?
No, see, and I liked all that stuff, but him saving Iris.
Oh, okay, you wanted it different.
It was just weird, and I thought it was,
fine, yeah.
and I thought it was weird. But I'm like, no, it's not weird. I was like, why am I thinking about?
Why
that?
are you thinking?
And then
weird?
I got on to other stuff, and people were like, why was he touching her face like that?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh,
sorry, I didn't even think about it.
I was like, sorry, I wasn't the only one. I thought it was like a little weird.
Yeah, it was a little when we were
it wasn't that I wouldn't. Some people like get that whole scene. You could have saved 10 minutes, and I didn't go that way. No. I was like, you could have just like maybe done it like a little cool. Like I don't know.
So
I get that's the first time he's seen like the woman he loves.
Right.
Like I get it, but like in the moment I'm like, is this is how this is supposed to go? Oh, okay.
I actually cool. I have a lot to say about that.
Cool.
Number one is when we were watching the movie and that happened, Kat to my left goes, that was creepy. And like I was like, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And I get it. I understand that, there's another version out there where he doesn't, fix her hair or touch her face.
But I'm all for him like being like, whoa, like she's beautiful. Like
right.
I'm all for that like first love, like love at first sight thing.
Okay, so
I'm all for that.
So here's where I agree, but I would buy that if he didn't make comments about Wonder Woman the whole movie, or for not the whole movie, but he makes so parts of it he's like, oh man, because he was like, oh wow, when he like sees her, he's like, oh yeah, and he's like, hi Diana, or hi Barry, my name's Diana. No, that's not right. Yeah. And then do you think she would go for a younger guy comment? But if I believe that he met the love of his life before those scenes, I don't think he would have been making Wonder Woman comments. So that's my big reservation about that scene. That scene would have worked for me if he didn't then hit on Wonder Woman 20 minutes later.
Behind her back.
Yeah. If Iris knew, she would never.
She would have left Central City.
Yeah.
Is there a scene that I would take out? I don't know. It was all. I needed all of it.
Yeah.
I needed Aquaman.
Yeah.
God,
so do you want to know?
What's his name? Volko?
What?
Willem Dafoe's character?
Oh,
Volko?
yeah.
Volko?
I don't know his name, but I know you're
But like, I needed that conversation.
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe like, see, and this isn't even a full. I'm just trying to think of scenes now.
So a lot of the character development stuff, and I understand when people are like, oh, but you could start trimming here and start trimming here, but
you could.
But that wasn't the point of Zack Snyder's Justice League, right?
Again,
like you were saying, it was to get everything.
But like there was.
So I'm just asking, what's your least favorite part, mostly? So we'll ignore the takeout part. Just
my least favorite.
Just
part?
like So instead of saying what would you take out of the movie, but what was your least favorite? So now we're like, oh, they could have got rid of that, but I
enjoyed the movie.
All right, so I'm gonna tell you mine.
Okay, yeah, maybe
so that
maybe it'll
be like, oh, because I think there's also other scenes like it in the movie, but where I get the motivation of why they did this, but when the village starts singing to Aquaman,
oh, I didn't understand that either.
It was a little long. Mm-hmm. If they had like started singing and maybe overlapped it in like the next scene or something, but like we were on that woman for a while.
Yeah.
And those other women singing to Aquaman.
She smelled his sweatshirt.
Yeah, picked it up and because they worship him, right? That's the point.
Yes,
that's the point.
That I did.
Yeah.
But it was just like, you're right, it was long.
Like I get what they're saying. He brings them food, that he is their God. Mm-hmm. They worship him. She's singing like a hymn, right? It's like it's like going to church. She sings a hymn for for Aquaman because he saves their life.
Yeah, that's what he's there for.
But I'm like,
Scotchlong.
Like,
I guess for me, see, I was thinking on a too grand a scale.
Yeah.
Like when Steppenwolf pulls the Atlanteans. Steve pulls the Atlanteans out of the ocean and he's interrogating them on the beach.
The parademon thing?
No, Steppenwolf.
Wait, when he puts the thing on.
Yeah, he gets like the spider and he.
Yeah.
I was like, all right.
Yeah.
It wasn't like groundbreaking, like he would have found it. I feel like he would have found it.
Yeah,
but again, it was needed because he didn't know where the mother box was because it wasn't awake.
Right,
so that's
right,
why he was it.
Right.
That's again why this scene was prevalent. Why the villagers were.
But they show the parademons like dragging them out.
Yeah, and it's like a whole thing, and he's like throwing them around. That whole happens, and then he goes and talks to him.
And then he sees the thing.
Just go ask him. You tortured the man.
Yeah.
And then I didn't like the little spider thing that came out of him.
No,
that was too Transformers-y for me.
Yeah, it was
because there was like a Optimus Prime does it, or not Optimus Prime. Megatron does it in Transformers. He has like a little cat or something.
And it
that
goes
and that does that.
Damn, I don't remember that.
Him. Yeah, in the second one, and it like opens Shia LaBeouf's mouth and like opens his eye to see it, and that's exactly what it reminded me of.
Oh, so that's a bummer.
When it opened it up and he saw where the mother box was, I was like, "Yo, that happened in Transformers."
You're like, come on,
when
Zach.
Megatron was doing it with Shia LaBeouf to see where the Allspark was.
Yeah,
and I'm like, yeah, that's like almost kind of.
Man.
So, and that's why I was like, damn, I kind of wish.
So there was a reason for that scene, but you wish they would have like have Steppenwolf find the box a different way.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, other than a weird spider that goes on there.
And then the spider came later, but like I loved everything.
Yeah, I know.
I love Wonder Woman. I love the Flash, but yeah, I mean that would probably be like something I'm like, yeah, that was. But again, because I related it to something else that I didn't really care for.
It like brought you're watching it, you're like, damn.
And I'm like, why am I thinking about Transformers?
I don't want this in my head right now.
I'm thinking about Transformers in the middle of this movie. I shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, and so that is a bummer.
Yeah.
But that's not the movie's fault. If you didn't see Transformers, you probably wouldn't have had that thought.
And it wouldn't have mattered. Did you get a little more on board with Jared Leto's? Whoa! How many beers have I had? I've had one beer. Jared Leto's Joker. Did you get more on board? Or I know we're not going to see him again, but are you like, okay, cool? Like, I'm okay with that.
Again, it's hard to play this game of what did you think when everybody is gonna. Well, it definitely is over. We're not going to see it anymore. Yeah. But when people see Jared Leto's Joker, the first thing they do is compare it to David Ayer's a Suicide Squad Joker,
No, we're
right?
not getting David Ayer's cut.
No,
either.
we're not. Because she said that too.
She was very prevalent about that.
No.
Who is this lady? God.
But, so it's hard to watch him and not think of the catastrophe that occurred in Suicide Squad. Because, of course, I'm like, this is 100 times better than Honka. Yeah. So
I don't even mind that guy.
And
it was like whatever.
Yeah. So I could do away with all of that.
But how did you feel about that interaction?
Man,
it's a boy wonder.
It's like so
to do a man's job, and I'm like, what? How are you gonna say that to the man's father?
But that scene alone is like so because Batman's like, I would kill you if I didn't need you.
Yeah.
Right? And like that scene is full of story. Just in that scene.
So
where I'm like, like I want to know that story.
Why did Harley Quinn die? Why was Batman holding her?
I'm like, I want to know.
God, I love when the card came out. Because I guess there was like there was a bit of audio that happened. Like they edited the audio, so it like clicked or something, and I was like, ugh.
Oh, you're like, what was that?
It's just a card.
Yeah.
It's just a playing card.
He's like, how about a truce, Bruce?
And I'm like, what?
Come on.
And I'm like,
nobody has thought of that before. Jeez, man.
And not trying to go back to the Warner Brothers thing, but I was like, you guys really don't think this works?
I agree.
And again, and that's why I have to knock on Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson. Like, that's just why I do at the moment. Because you already have somebody doing it.
Right.
Why do you need another one?
I don't know.
Why do you need another? It's no disrespect to Matt Reeves, no disrespect to Robert Pattinson. You have somebody playing the character.
Yeah, I know.
You have somebody doing it, and somebody
and
that
it was,
wants to do it.
It was working.
Somebody that's been vocal. I'll write the stories. I'll direct them. I'll do. I want to play Batman.
Yeah.
I want to do it. I love it. It's
and
fun.
he's an Academy Award winning guy.
I want to do it.
Ben Affleck was like, I'll write it. And look, even if I don't direct
He's
it,
like, I'll give you my own money to do it.
I'll play the Batman. We'll write the script, and then somebody else can direct it, and we're good. And they were like, we don't trust you, Ben Affleck. But so here's the thing. Again, all right, we're getting a little off topic with the damn movie.
We'll pull it back. We'll pull it back in a moment.
Real quick, I don't think for 1 second that Warner Brothers doesn't believe that this works. I just don't think they like Zack Snyder and Ben Affleck.
I know. That's what I said in the Matt Reeves thing.
That's the only reason that this is not happening, because they're like, we don't like you, so go away,
destroy.
Yeah,
yo,
go away.
I don't have the lung capacity.
Like, stop asking us to do things because we don't like you. Be gone, Zach.
Yeah.
Go away, Ben. And that's the only reason why this is not happening. Because, Zach, this movie is so much better than any DC movie. And I'm furious that it is not continuing.
It's so bad. And that is the only reason I have to just... And that's why I wouldn't watch it tomorrow, to go back to that.
Yeah.
Because I have what I want.
Right, yeah. Well, and that's what this is what you want. You're like, you know what? I'm going to watch this movie, and then I'm going to play the game Injustice as though it continues.
Could you imagine that? You watch a movie, and then you're like, I'm going to play this movie.
Yeah.
I want to play this movie
on
my PlayStation 6.
Yeah.
It's just frustrating. But yeah, the nightmare sequence, I thought was so good. I don't even want to talk about Mara's British accent. I know everybody's talking about it.
What?
That's another. You know, she had a British accent in that scene. It was so funny, bro.
Yeah.
And then I got on the reviews, and everyone's like, "Why is she talking like that?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And then you go to Aquaman, and she talks normal, and like, there's a whole thing with her accent, and it's so funny. Because that was my first thought when she spoke. I'm like, why is she talking like that?
I didn't even catch it.
And then I got on to do my reviews, and everyone's like, why is Amber Heard talking in a British accent?
Really?
And I'm like, thank you. Yeah.
So she talks in a British accent in Atlantis?
No, in the
nightmare
sequence.
I didn't even catch
She's
that.
She's like, we'll kill the bastards. That wasn't good at all.
No,
Jesus.
But
yeah, she's like, I'll kill them.
Don't even try. You know you can't do it.
It came out Australian.
It came out Boston originally. And then you went for it again.
I was trying to nail it.
And it still didn't work.
I was trying to nail it. But she speaks in a British accent. And I'm like...
Dang, I got to go back and look at that.
Why is she doing that?
That's so funny.
But that was my initial thought. But then when I got in and everybody else was like, why is she doing that?
What did you think about the Deathstroke stuff?
I wanted to see a little more of him. Deathstroke's again, tangents everywhere. I'm trying to stay on topic. Deathstroke's a Teen Titan villain, actually.
Oh,
where
yeah,
he first
originally.
came from. Yeah. But again, he bumps up and he fights the Batmans and the Supermans of the world.
But he's an Arrow.
Yeah, he was like he was actually, God, where he came from.
Whose bad guy is he originally?
Dick Grayson's.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was his he was his biggest that's like his King of Kings.
Oh, okay.
That's like the guy that's always around for Nightwing.
Oh, okay.
It's like Deathstroke. Okay. They're just like always doing their thing. But again, that wasn't even relevant. I wish I could have seen a little more of him. Like I would like to see him kill somebody.
Oh yeah.
Like him.
Because we didn't actually see him do anything.
Do anything. Yeah. Like he was on the yacht.
Takes his helmet off and
and I would have liked to seen him like chop someone's head off. Like that would have been cool.
That would have been cool.
Again, perfect casting. Joe Manganiello.
I know.
In nice built guy.
Super
scary
huge.
Looking.
Yeah.
This guy's a smoke. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah. Come on.
Again, good casting for a very important character. Never see it again. Could you imagine anyone else playing Wonder Woman at this point?
No,
Why would
no
you,
way.
Again, would revolt.
Yeah.
If someone's like, yeah, we'll let you finish your third Wonder Woman, and then we're gonna cast.
You know what? That's
some
funny.
TikToker.
That's a good question because
God.
I don't know if I feel that way about any of the other heroes. I don't know if I feel like nobody else can be recast. I mean,
I feel no, but I don't want to see anyone else play
Batman.
Diana.
Oh yeah, no, I don't
I
want.
don't.
Yeah, that's so like I'm
She
positive.
She is Wonder Woman.
Right, like that
to me.
I don't believe they're gonna find a better Wonder Woman out there. Do I think they could find a better Superman? Probably. I mean, Henry Cavill is like just a giant dude. His muscles are ridiculous.
They did a whole workout thing. That, again, something else I saw on YouTube.
Yeah.
About how, like for Man of Steel, the
Like, oh
process they went
God.
through. But he looks like Superman.
Well, he looks like our version of Superman, I guess. You know, like
he
what?
Looks like Clark Kent.
Yeah, right. And so I am not opposed to them, you know, because they're talking about doing a totally different Superman.
Zod. Yeah, Earth 2 Superman.
Yeah, but
which is a real. I mean, he was a real Superman.
I
don't know.
I can't remember the actor that they
Michael B. Jordan.
Thank you, God.
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan.
Yes, so they were like, you know, Michael B. Jordan will be Superman, and I'm 100% okay with that.
Oh, that would be dope.
Yeah.
But again, they're doing a different Superman.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have to tell a whole story about the Superman. That's not Clark Kent, the guy from Kansas, the guy that works at the Daily Planet. It's not that guy.
Right.
It's a whole different Superman from a whole different race of people.
But if they wanted to make Clark Kent a black Superman, like I also am not. I'm not.
Again, get a good actor to do it.
Yeah.
Get Michael B. Jordan to do it.
Yeah. If he wants to be an Earth 1 Superman.
Yeah.
And the Kents adopt him.
Yeah.
Like I'm okay with that storyline.
Get a Michael B. Jordan. That's what I want.
But for some reason, I'm like, leave Wonder Woman alone for a little bit. Well, and I shouldn't say that either because Patty Jenkins is not doing the best job.
Well, she messed up.
So I'm also like, maybe pick a different director.
I mean, I'll probably let her finish.
And Ben Affleck is my favorite Batman of all the Batmen.
He is mine too.
Is he?
Yes.
Yeah, he's my favorite one, and I'm still like,
but
if you do a different Batman,
yeah,
I'm cool with that.
But I'm also like, if you have 11 different actors playing Batman, chances are I'm not going to care about any of them because you don't give me a chance to love any of them.
That's a good point.
You don't give me a chance to care. Do you know why everybody loves Robert Downey Jr.? Because he was Tony Stark for 11 years.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He was the Tony Stark. He is Iron Man.
Yeah,
he is Iron Man until he dies. Daniel Radcliffe is Harry Potter until he dies.
Yeah, that is
because
true.
they gave him the chance and they grew on him, and everybody loved them.
And Robert Downey Jr. is another like Wonder Woman. Like,
yeah,
you're gonna
recast. Are you?
Don't touch
crazy?
that character for 50 years.
Are you insane?
Yeah.
But again, DC's problem. There's 5,000 Batmans, and I don't care about any of them.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a very good point.
It's hard for me. You know who Batman is to me? Kevin Conroy. That's Batman.
Yeah.
You know who the Joker is to me? Mark Hamill.
Sorry.
That's just how it is. Because when I was a 7-year-old kid that woke up,
the animated series.
I heard Kevin Conroy every Saturday morning. And that guy is Batman to me.
Yep.
Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker is the Joker to me. Heath Ledger, unbelievable. The Dark Knight is still number 1 on my top favorite movies of all time. And someone's gonna have to shake the ground to knock that movie off. But my favorite Joker is Mark Hamill. It just is.
I know.
My favorite Batman's probably Kevin Conroy.
Interesting. And the thing is, I understand what you're saying, but that's
because he's been Batman for like 20 years.
Right. I was gonna say that's a good example of somebody that was Batman and the Joker for
video games,
for decades.
TV. He's done every.
I mean, they come back and do Arkham Asylum, right?
Yeah, they did The Killing Joke together.
Yeah, and they come back and do The Killing Joke. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
which The Killing Joke was a phenomenal movie.
So they're these characters for decades.
Is it Conroy? Or is it Conley?
No, it's Conroy.
It's Conroy?
Yeah. Dude,
see, now I'm thinking.
Why would you do that?
I
why
know.
Would you do
in the
that?
middle of the show,
it's Conroy.
Conroy.
Dang it!
But I was thinking,
It's Kevin Conroy.
It's Kevin Conroy, yeah.
I'm gonna put money on that.
Yeah,
and then we'll figure out if we're wrong later.
Yeah. We'll
it's not Connolly. It's not Kevin Connolly.
Yeah.
Because that's the guy from Entourage.
Entourage, yeah. E. I'm familiar. One of my other favorite shows.
I don't think it's E either.
Yeah, he plays E.
Oh yeah, it's E. Yeah, it's E.
I don't even know what his actual name is. Eric. Sorry.
Yes,
Anyways.
Yes, it is Eric. Yep.
But that's Kevin Conroy's Batman.
I mean,
because he's been
I
Batman
know what you're
forever.
saying. Yes.
So imagine if Ben Affleck paid Batman for another 10 years.
Yeah, we would
when
care.
Everybody else did it for a short amount of time.
Yeah,
he would be Batman because he was Batman for 10 years. He did 6, 7 movies as Batman.
Yeah, I mean, again,
he would do. I hate the Marvel comparison. It's stupid. But that is why everybody loves Marvel because they were in these roles and we fell in love with them. We loved them.
Right, and there's an impact when something bad happens to them. Right, so you got me for 10 years,
and then
now I feel it when something bad happens to that character
because you care about them.
Although I was seeing that Ben Affleck was Batman more times than most people.
I think something like
that. Something like that. Like not necessarily in screen time, but he's in more movies than
because again,
any
Christian
other
Bale
Batman.
only did it 3 times.
Right.
George Clooney did it twice.
No, he just did it. No, he did it once.
Twice.
Did he do it twice?
Yes.
No, because Val Kilmer did the other one.
Batman Forever was Val Kilmer?
Batman Forever is Val Kilmer.
So Val Kilmer did it twice.
No, what are you talking about? What do you mean?
Oh, I'm thinking of the first. No, don't tell me who he is.
Oh my gosh, no. Yeah, George Clooney did it one.
But don't tell me who the first Batman was.
Okay, I won't, but...
Not the 1936, not that Batman.
I know what you're saying, yeah. You're talking about Batman... Oh, no, sorry.
I'm talking about Batman.
Batman...
The movie Batman from 1989.
You said Batman Forever, though.
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah,
with
no, sorry.
Chris...
I messed you... No.
With the shitty Dick Grayson.
No.
Who played the first Batman?
So there's Batman and Robin.
Yes.
Right.
Which is George Clooney and.
Yes. And still Chris O'Donnell.
Shitty Dick Grayson.
Yeah. Yeah.
So George Clooney only did it once.
Yeah. And Batman and Robin.
And then Val Kilmer.
But
the first Batman, I can't remember his name.
Mm-hmm.
By golly, ladies and gentlemen, I'm stumped.
Would you like the answer or not?
Jesus. And he's coming into Flashpoint.
My goodness. Yes,
he is coming into Flashpoint.
Yes.
No, because you're going to tell me I'm going to get so mad.
And he did it twice. And then it was George Clooney. And then it was Val Kilmer.
The Two-Face and Riddler Batman.
Val Kilmer.
What was the first Batman with Penguin and... No, that's Batman Forever.
I know, that's why I said I messed you up.
He did it twice.
I messed you up, yeah.
So there's Batman and then Batman Forever, correct. Penguin, Catwoman. I don't remember his name.
You want me to tell you? Oh my gosh, Dad. We're not going to do this forever. I'm going to tell you.
Tell me.
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton! So would you rate it out of 10? Is it your favorite DCEU movie?
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
So let me ask you this real quick then. What did Kat think? Somebody that's not as invested.
So Kat fell asleep. Kat fell asleep from the movie. To be fair to her, it's twofold. She is prego.
She is.
And we started the movie at 8 o'clock at night.
That's not smart.
And
I did too. But
we watched it until midnight, and that was tough. That was tough for her, and I don't blame her one bit.
Okay.
But
probably blankets, cozy, fireplace.
The way that I know, the whole thing.
That's why
we had just ate a steak dinner.
That's why.
Put on the fireplace.
The guests
threw
stay
on
awake?
a movie. They did. Yeah.
They like it? Did they say anything?
Oh yeah, they loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it. Yeah, we did like a quick 5-minute deal at the end because it's midnight and we, they want to go home and I want to go to bed.
Yeah.
And we did a quick 5-minute thing and positive reviews all around.
Okay.
But the thing is, I know Kat likes it when she asks me questions the next day. And she was even like, maybe we'll watch the parts that I fell asleep on.
Okay.
All right. So Of the stuff that
that's
she,
over.
yeah, right, exactly. No, of the stuff that she saw, she enjoyed,
Okay.
and at a different level, of course, because she doesn't know all the details. But she was confused about some things, cleared it up. Cool, we got through it. But the part that I enjoyed telling her was the bigger picture of how the movie got
We
made.
haven't even mentioned Dark Side. I didn't mean to interrupt. Continue. Continue.
I just think that if you can entertain someone like her, then you're doing a good job.
Yeah.
Right.
Somebody that just, not that they don't care, that's just not the normal movie they would pick.
So one thing she said that I actually did not disagree with, and I think it's worth mentioning here, and she brought this up, and I was like, you know what? That's a good point. Was the movie was CGI heavy, which she's like, fine, cool. Like I get it. It's a popcorn movie, CGI. She goes, but because of that, the last hour of the movie doesn't feel grounded. So she's like, so I don't actually believe anything bad is going to happen. Right? Like the stakes are not high because you don't, she's like, it's so effects heavy.
Okay.
It doesn't feel like it's taking place in the real world. And I was like, you know what? I can't. Big. Yeah. That's I was big. Like, I can't disagree with that. I know exactly what you mean. I respect that opinion. It doesn't feel like there's any real danger to the real world. And so she's like, it doesn't like impact me in any real way. I was like, that's a very fair point. Fair point.
10 out of 10.
Yeah. Wow. 10 out of 10 point on the movie.
Yeah.
For sure. I agree with you. I mean,
she was probably asleep for the part where the world gets destroyed.
Yeah. Jeez.
And, yeah. Okay.
But to answer your other question, would I rate this movie out of 10? I don't. Again, it's hard for me to do that, right? So I'm always like, so the way I rate movies is like this movie above this movie.
Yeah.
You know, and a must see.
So then it's the best DCEU movie.
Yeah, in my opinion, it's the best DCEU movie. Fine. I think that Wonder Woman is actually, like of the stuff that's actually canon, Wonder Woman is probably my favorite DCU movie.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's probably Ultimate Edition of BVS.
Man of Steel, Aquaman.
Yeah. And then so on and so forth. Wonder Woman 2 at the bottom.
Yeah.
Which is ironic because they like bookend it, right? Yeah. Wonder Woman up here, Wonder Woman 2 down here.
Sandwich.
Yeah, what's a Wonder Woman sandwich of DCEU? Okay.
Well, I haven't rated it, and I put that on Instagram, and people were like, "What?"
I know. I almost wrote you too, and I was almost.
And I'm like, "Cool." I didn't even know anybody looked at my shit. I got like 3 different messages, like, "You can't do that. It's not in the rules."
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't. First of all, I didn't even know you cared that I put these on. Yeah. But cool.
You watched this?
Yeah.
But I almost wrote you, be like, "Come on, D, don't be that guy."
I don't know what to put it at. I don't know.
But going back to what we were saying before, like it almost doesn't matter to rate it.
Nah.
Right? It doesn't. Because what are you saying? Like come watch this movie that is like for a niche audience that only a certain amount of people know the full story and
how they got there.
Yeah, how this whole thing happened. If you just stumble upon this movie on HBO 10 years from now, and it's somebody who doesn't understand why it's a 4-hour long movie, like it's not gonna hype them up as much as it did us watching it now.
Yeah.
So
well, I will say this, and I guess this is a way to rate it. I probably want to watch this once a year.
Oh,
this is probably something I want to throw on when I can't find anything else. It's a Friday night in December. It's snowing outside. It's gonna be snowed in tomorrow morning.
Yeah, you'll throw it on.
I'll probably throw it on.
I think.
But to be fair, I do that with The Dark Knight a couple times a year.
I probably will revisit this every few years, but in a trilogy, in a Man of Steel to BVS to that's
which I did.
That's like 10 hours.
Which I did over the course of a week.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. I didn't do Man of Steel though. I did BVS, Josstice League, Zack Snyder.
I rewatch Man of Steel once a year.
I do too.
Just like it's a severely underrated film.
It's so good.
It's like it's
that's why
seeing the bad reviews for Man of Steel made me want to review movies because I'm like, people do not understand how this works.
Yeah, and again, back to the rabbit hole. But I think people were hating on it just because it was a DC movie.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
it.
Back then, back in the
because
day,
it was that was when the whole Rotten Tomatoes things was happening, all that stuff, and they're like, just say it sucked, just give it. Don't let the rating get high. Give it.
Yeah, we don't want it. Well, and then it's like Marvel is up and like happening, right? And
yeah,
there's like a whole
there's
whole thing there.
Yeah.
But I was like, people don't like this. This is not correct.
Exactly.
So it's a severely underrated film. So I actually rewatch it. And again, I'm not saying it doesn't have its moments, but I rewatch that one. I do BVS Ultimate Edition in parts throughout the year, and so this will probably be thrown in with all that too.
Well, hopefully, I guess we are getting a DVD.
Yeah, we'll get a Blu-ray. We're also gonna get another BVS Blu-ray,
which I'm buying them both.
Yeah, all right.
I will say
grab
this,
me a
though.
steel book.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I will say this, and again, this is me being irrationally angry. I don't even want the Josstice League Blu-ray in my house anymore. I don't want it. I don't want that movie anymore. I want nothing to do with it.
But it's canon.
I know.
That's the one that...
I don't care.
When they do Flash, they're going to reference Josstice League.
Don't care. Get that movie out of here. I don't even know why it's still sitting on my shelf.
Yeah, I know.
Am I ever going to watch it
Burn
again?
it.
Of course I'm never going to watch it again.
Do I have 2 copies of that movie?
That's horrible for you.
I think I do.
Why would you do that to yourself?
I think you gave me one.
I can't imagine why I would do that to you.
Maybe not. Maybe I have 2 copies of BVS. Maybe. I don't know, but I have 2 copies.
I won't ever watch it again. I don't need to.